What's up guys, I'm back again. So it turns out that I have stuffed up the start of this video. I didn't realise I wasn't filming and pretty much got way ahead of myself, but where this will pick up from is the work that I've done on the Amarok bonnet. So the Amarok bonnet was in factory E-coat and it had a lot of surface rust that was getting underneath all the E-coat. So I managed to buy myself one of these bad boys off eBay. So the MaxXT, MaxXT sander. So seen these on eBay, they look pretty snazzy. I've used the Merca and Festool electric ones and they've been cracker. So my compressor had a real bad day the other day with the heat and overheated, shut itself off while I was trying to orbital and causing me all sorts of dramas. So this was an investment that I was eyeing off to make, and that sort of pushed me in the direction just to spend the money and have a crack at it and see how it works. Now I've already been using it and all I can say is this little sander for the price, so I paid $270 for it, fluctuates between the $250 to $300-400 mark depending on where you buy it on eBay or Alibaba or all of those shopping apps. But I got this off eBay and $270, absolute cracker machine. So you'll see when I go to sand the bonnet in the next couple of clips how good it is, how quiet it is, and I can't believe that I managed to sand a whole bonnet 80 grit, 120 grit and didn't get any vibration. I did it twice as well. So I did the rust treatment process, then re-hit it with the 80-120 process and really worked that sander with the metal work, and no vibration in my hand or anything. I was crazy impressed with it. So in no way am I getting sponsored by these guys or did I get a discount on any of this. I paid for the thing. I'm just always, if I find a good product, I will definitely put it out there for people, because not everyone's got $900 to spend on a Merca electric sander to mess around in the garage with. So this is the one that you want for your garage jobs and you're messing around. So 100%. It's good on the handle, so it's not like your big bulky overhead orbital sanders that you just can't get a feel for the panel. This thing's a cracker, so I can't say enough good things about it. So I put it through the paces in this video and you'll see that. So let's get cracking on it and I'll show you what I've got from this point forwards, and you'll also see that I've got a little bit of colour on the Amarok parts. So a little bit of an exciting video, this one. So let's get to the video. Alright, so start with a bit of 80 grit. Get him on there like so. Alright, so power is on, and if we can see, this lights up quite well, but we'll run that on speed 2. Super quiet. I'm actually really impressed with how quiet that is. Actually, so far super impressed with very smooth, very smooth. So we're running the same process as I did on the windscreen, 80 grit, then 120 grit. So this is just on speed 2. We'll crack it to 3. Oh man, so far super impressed. quiet compared to listening to the air compressor cracking away. So, it's got a good brake on it. Immediate stop, so for the price, this is ridiculous. I was expecting it not to sand as smooth as what it is. I was expecting a lot of hand vibration through this, like you get with your orbital palm sanders and stuff like that, but alright, we'll do something that I'm not going to normally do. Let's crack it right up. So this is as high speed as it'll go. Very impressed. So I don't usually like running a sander that high on panel. That's just me. But I'll put this into time lapse and we'll crack away with it. Alright, so that made light work of that bonnet. Got it all stripped down. Highly impressed with that sander. Like, ridiculously impressed. It's above and beyond what I actually thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a piece of junk. But, got all the bonnet stripped down. So the problem with this was it was in a aftermarket E-coat and all the rust has been leaching underneath all that E-coat because obviously this thing's been sitting around for a while. So all of that had to be stripped off. And we're going to use my good friend Rusco and the metal prep and everything to get this all back to some nice clean straight metal. So using a lot of products in this one. But yeah, the sander, holy dooly, definitely recommend it if you're looking for something that's not going to run off a noisy compressor 24 hours a day. If you've got a lot of sanding to do, 100%. I'll probably actually end up buying another one of these as a backup because yeah, it's great. Far beyond. But yeah, alright, so next step, get all the Rusco treatment done. I went through that in the last video, so I won't even bother waffling on about that. Get the Rusco treatment done, run the sander back over it and everything, and then get this into epoxy. Alright, so that's that. It's all in bare metal, all prepped, rust-goed, metal cleaned, all prepped, 80, 120 grit, ready for some epoxy primer. But very stoked with that. It's come out really awesome. That sander has made absolutely light work of this without putting so much stress on my compressor as well. And I haven't had to listen to the compressor the whole time. So when it comes to this thing, huge thumbs up for that one. But get this thing all into epoxy, then we'll go over what the next few stages of the Amarok are. So the Amarok, I'm not going to break it down into sections, I'm just going to keep throwing updates as more and more happens. So unlike the Valiant, because the Valiant's got some pretty big stages, I'm going to try and structure this a little bit differently just to keep the content flowing, because I find when I section things it really slows things down and I'm always doing something. So and also don't mind me, I'm still dealing with the wisdom tooth situation, so it's very challenging to talk, so which is good for you guys, but struggles a bit. Anyway, let's get this thing into epoxy and then we'll go over and check out the Amarok and see what stage it's up to. Alrighty, so we got the bonnet all into epoxy, looking really good. So that's nice and sealed up. A few little dents here and there that I was well aware of, which is why I wanted to get it into epoxy. But I'll let that sit for a few days now, cure out properly, not rushing this, because when you rush paint, sink back happens, and I prefer to let everything cure at its own pace. So next stage is I've gone and prepped my front bar, my grille, fuel cap, and the bumper bar cap for the tow hook cover. So prepped all of those up, and I'm going to set up my inflatable spray booth that I got from Vivor a while ago. Set that up, and we're going to get some actual colour down today, because I need to see this colour, I need to work it out before I go painting all the body when I tow it to the spray booth. So the inflatable booth, I only use it for small jobs like bumper bars, odds and ends, stuff that if I was to pay and travel to a spray booth, it would just cost me so much money to have done there. So for all my big car jobs, big paint jobs, I always get towed to a booth. I hire a booth, I borrow a booth, whatever I can to get into a proper facilitated booth to get the paint job done properly. But small odds and ends, inflatable booth, absolutely perfect. So I'm going to get this set up now and we'll get some paint going on. Alright, so here we go. We're in the inflatable booth. Little Vivor booth off eBay yet again. This thing's just to get me out of trouble with the small parts, but the thing's great. So just enough room to get the grill and a couple of little odds and ends there for the bumper bar. And we got our main bar here. So the good thing, the best part I found about this booth, which took me a couple of minutes to work out, was that this up here is actually a blow vent. So when you undo this, it pushes all the air towards the vents, which are down here. The filters, pushes the air down to the filters and extracts it all nice and clean like. And I've used this once before and the thing was an absolute cracker. So let's get on with it, get these parts painted so then I can get this thing disassembled and put away again. So let's go. Alright, so all the panels are finished being painted, pretty stoked, and they are looking pretty killer. A little bit of rubbish in the paint job, but I fully intend on wet sanding and buffing all of this car. I want this to be as nice as it possibly can be, so that's how you get a job to be just that little step above. But in all honesty, pretty chuffed. Stoked to start seeing some colour on some stuff. So what we'll do is we'll get this out of the inflatable booth into the sun and have a good look at it. So we'll get this out now, we'll have a look at it. Alrighty, so that's that. That's another good solid weekend done on the Amarok, and I did say I was going to give you a bit of a overview on where I'm at with it. So we got the bumper bar painted, we've got the grille painted, I've got my spray out card here. So little something I do when I'm painting a car is the first things to get painted will also have a spray out card put there to spray out. That's a card that I use if ever I need to get paint matched up, and also I use it to cross check every panel and every stage of the paint job to make sure all the paint's getting the same amount of coats and all the coverage is all the same. So it's a little thing I do there. But the Amarok is all torn down, got the back wall off, so all this back wall is going to end up in bed liner because I can never get down there to wash it. Got all the doors off it. I got my old Amarok wheels put on it. So doors are off, ready to prep all the jams up. I've already repaired all the camp rail there, so that's just got to be block sanded down and put into high fill with the whole door jam. Then that's all ready for paint. Very simple. Although I did find over here on this side this little nasty right here, a little bit of rust just in there, so I'll get that all treated up and cleaned and won't even know it's there. I have all 4 doors completely stripped down out there. They're just drying out now because I cleaned all the inside out. They were full of grot and God knows what inside the door, so they're all cleaned out now. Just stops anything blowing out of the doors when I'm painting them. Gives me a nice clean canvas when I put it all back together too. So that's pretty much it for this one. A bit of a different sort of way I've gone about filming this one, so let me know if you prefer this style or if you prefer me just to stick to the build style. Still trying to work out the best way to film all of this and get the most coverage on all the footage, but definitely love the sander, inflatable booth use, everything's going splendid. So that'll be it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one, which I have no idea what it'll be, but it'll be something. So catch us on the next one.